Okay, we're back. Hello, Philippines. It's still RPM. You're still tuned on Revolutions Per Minute, and we still have the same topic and having the pleasure of the company of Captain Mora here. So before having a question, we have, it's not a time check yet, but there's a question for Captain Mora. So let's go ahead.
Yes, MJ, I'd like to acknowledge the texter, my very good friend, which I refer to as the man with the golden voice, because he also is a broadcaster, but he's a medical doctor, no? Dr. IRENE Imperio. Doc, if you're listening, this is the question that you texted to me. I will ask our young and pretty guest, who is a captain. Dr. IRENE is asking Captain Mora, what would qualify you to be the first Filipino astronaut?
Here. What would qualify you to be the first Filipino astronaut? One thing to all the listeners, I am not an astronaut. I am an inspired, and I was trained to be able to go if there is an opportunity for me. And I was certified as a zero gravity. Zero gravity is one way for the astronaut for you to go up. Those were astronauts that train you before they will qualify an astronaut.
For the benefit of our listeners, Captain, can you explain a little bit what zero gravity means? That means you don't get subjected to the law of gravity so you can fly?
The zero gravity is a training for every pilots and astronauts who went up there to be able to have your buoyancy and balance in your body in a zero gravity. So they're using this kind of aircraft, Boeing 727 that we used back in the States, and that training will certify you to be able to be qualified. And that is a hard training, actually, to go up there. To be able for you to be qualified, I think to be an astronaut, there's a lot of qualification. First, you have to go to be qualified to at least desire or dream, because it has to start it from a dream, and then for you to make it as a reality. So, to be real, how are you going to start doing this? You have to be able to dream first before you do something. And as a child, I dreamed to be an astronaut. And to me, my desire to experience it is to be able to experience the zero gravity, which I was certified in the United States in 2006 in the space adventure. And anybody can be. You can go up there, you can go and have a training if you wanted to, and you're physically fit to be able to train. I think every child, I've never met any child that never dreamed to be an astronaut without understanding what it is to be like there. So, a doctor, if you are listening, I am not an astronaut, but that is my passion, that's my desire, and I was trained to be able to go up. But and for you to be able to continuously doing it, you have to give up one thing. Because to be qualified to be one, there's a lot of qualification.
The requirements also.
Requirements. First thing foremost, yes, you should be a pilot, of course. But then there are certain qualifications if you wanted to push through your dream to make it happen.
And can I make a follow-up question on the question of Dr. IRENE?
Go ahead, Conrad.
Captain, I know you dreamt to be an astronaut. Are you still dreaming now? And when do you think that will become a reality?
As I said, to dream is for free. And I think there is two ways on going there. Going to be an astronaut is first thing foremost is you have to dream, and you have to dream that you already been there. Your mental capacity should be able to cope up with your dream. Second is to those astronauts who's been there, who exactly has been through physically and mentally trained. So I would never stop dreaming. There is nothing wrong to dream, right? So I would never stop dreaming, and if I would have an opportunity in a long way, at my age, in this lifetime, I will go. Maybe not today, but on my second lifestyle, like second life.
When that becomes a reality, can you promise the good doctor to fly him to the moon?
We really need, we really need a good doctor. I need a doctor in our life, you know. We really need the good doctor to be able to monitor. And as what I've heard, because they've been sending me informations about this kind of thing, because this is my passion and fashion. So out of my passion, they've been sending me that there's a lot of online already to even pay for $20 million to be an astronaut.
Wow.
You know, this doctor is not just a regular doctor. Dr. Arlie is a life coach as well.
Wow.
And he has an advocacy. He teaches people how to live a healthy life. And I am very sure one of these days we would invite him to be one of our guests and talk about this advocacy on wellness.
Yes, doctor.
Wonderful.
I hope that satisfies you, Dr. Arlie.
Yes.
I just have a follow-up question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when you have completed the training for zero gravity, you have already taken the first step
That
in
is-
becoming the an
Indeed,
astronaut.
exactly. That is the big step for you to be able to
enter.
And I was successfully certified. So I found out that I can be what our next higher level to train. Or if I have $20 million today, I will be the first Filipino to go up.
All right. So
That's
the
$20 million.
Yes.
To be-
No, actually calculating of $20 million, if I have $80 million, then I can still play with another rest of my millions to go up there. But since I am in aviation, and they say, my friend says that to be able for you to be a millionaire, the fastest millionaire, you have to be an aviator.
Oh,
Because the
that's
fastest
the wrong
millionaire,
choice of,
you have to be a billionaire for you to be a fastest millionaire, because this is not a very cheap hobby, or this is not very it's not a joke hobby.
It's not an ordinary hobby.
Yeah, because you
well
have
on
to
your
pay.
way
More of a serious hobby. And I hope my daughter will become a pilot. I think Zoe doesn't know what she want to be. I hope I will let her watch this show, and then I'll make her like you, the second Captain Mora of the Philippines, Zoe Goding.
I would love to. She is always welcome to fly with us.
I have a question to the
Conrad.
captain. The way you talk, I can sense the passion that you put
Yes,
into
isn't
flying. In these years of flying, what can you say about flying and the way you lived your life? Are they the same, or are they two different routes to getting there?
To be honest with you, it has become my lifestyle, and this is indeed my passion, because I would never be able to express and speak about the love of flying if it's not coming from my heart. Ever since I was a child, I would always wanted to be different, and I would always wanted to achieve something different to myself. And I think being a woman pilot, which in aviation is a male-dominated field, has proved to myself that I can do something what I can't. And I had found myself that if others can, why can't I? If the monkey can be an astronaut, why can't I not be? So it slowly became your lifestyle. And when you do something that you love, then you'll be able to succeed no matter what.
Do you think there is a handicap being a lady pilot, knowing that this is a male-dominated world?
Yes, it is. There is a woman exactly already that exists today, that she is half Filipina, half American, with no hands, and can be able to fly an airplane. What she's doing right now around the world is to prove to herself, to the world, to other people, handicap is not being paralyzed yourself. Being a handicap comes from your brain. Being handicapped comes from your mental capacity.
So
And
there is
especially, it's not a handicap being a woman to do anything. You can be anyone. You can be anything. You can be Captain Mora.
Exactly. We can be whoever we want it to be.
there's no limit to life's possibilities.
There is no limit.
Many women think that if men can do this, they can do better Do you believe and subscribe
I used to
the
say
same?
that. I used to say that.
We are here as a woman myself that I have grown and experienced a lot of difficulties and turbulence in my life. I don't want to say that when women I've seen who gone through that level that I can be more better than what she is. I've realized that everyone can be whoever you want it to be and do something best at your own level of capacity. I myself, in my humble way, had proven it to myself, to my family, to the people I love the most, that I can do something that not others can do.
Yes.
But I believe that every one of us can be able and qualified to do something. Not just because we are better than the others.
And adding to that, I think it's not a competition between the sexes. So it's just from within you.
Is that from within you? It has to come from within you. It's no longer a competition.
Yes.
It is not a competition within yourself.
It's an inherent.
It's
Yes.
a perception
Feeling.
about what others can do and cannot do.
Maybe if I may ask
Come
another
closer.
question.
Yes, yes, Conrad, go ahead.
There are many professions, and you have chosen flying. From a layman like me, flying is a dangerous business.
Profession.
Are there risks to flying?
There are a lot of risks even when we're just sleeping.
That's correct. Everywhere.
And everywhere, life is at risk. When you're sleeping, when you're walking, when you're driving. So for me, flying is just like
Any other.
other things like when I'm sleeping. So I don't consider myself that I'm doing something dangerous or it's a lot of risk to fly more than when you are on the ground. But for me, it has become like it's part of me. It's like a backpack in my life. It's just like
Cannot live without it.
I cannot live without it. It's already the fuel and that sustain me as a person.
So can you tell our listeners what are the rewards to being in this profession, financially or whatever?
That's a very good questions. I would love to tell.
Start with the rewards first, and then later on the investments. Okay. All right. So there, Irene, what are
It's
the
my favorite
rewards?
questions. That's I would love to all the listeners to know that the rewards coming from being a pilot is huge.
Wow.
One thing foremost is meeting a lot of beautiful people, extraordinary people that you could never imagine you will meet them in your entire life. Being a pilot rewarded you to experience and educate yourself that you'll never learn from any other or any university or the best Harvard University in the world. Being a pilot rewarded you to have such freedom, independency, especially me as a woman. It rewarded me to be the best and capable of being financially independent myself, that I don't need to depend to my parents, or I don't need to be one prostitute or make my money just one day at the time. It rewarded me a very good self-respect to myself, that I am able and capable to do something, to be independent, and to be able to teach flying and aviation, not only literally flying, to a lot of people globally, is already a rewarded and benefits gift for me.
Yes.
So-
Yes, Conrad.
No, I was just before I lose my thought. I was
Conrad.
just with all these rewards, and I think the first one you mentioned that you meet a lot of people, special kinds of people. So
Extraordinary.
what is this thing I hear that you have not found your special someone despite all these rewards?
She's met all kinds of people,
because she's-
extraordinary,
yes.
famous and infamous, but hasn't found
Yeah,
that
because she's still
love.
single until now. Wow.
Yeah,
Why so?
I think freedom isn't free. Being a pilot actually literally make you feel like you have so much freedom in yourself. But then along the way you find out that freedom isn't free. Into the love of my life, it has to come up. It has to come somewhere. And literally,
It's not here yet, but it will be soon.
It will be soon. Actually, he already. It should be a heaven. It should be a heaven sent. It should be literally a falling angel.
All right.
Okay, this topic is getting interesting. Let's go for a break, and before we go, let's do a time check. It's now exactly 1 o'clock
And
in
before,
the Philippines.
Yes, Marley, and before we pause for a break, I would just like to greet my brother. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy
He's in Baguio.
birthday
Yes,
to
and he's
you.
watching.
Happy
and
birthday.
Happy birthday.
This June, Cases.
Hi, June. Happy
Yes,
birthday.
It's his birthday today.
Okay, don't go away.
Go away. We'll be right back.